Yeah, let's do it.
Buenos dias! It's good afternoon. Buenos tardes!
Hell yeah.
What's up, Isaac? Isaac and I were just talking about the Israeli Day Parade today.
We were.
And guys, today is the first day. You may notice that you're watching here on the Ted Jones World YouTube channel, or you're on Spotify. Yes, we have video on Spotify. Amazing. Nice. But we have new stands. We got new mics. So, Grandma, I know you've complained sometimes about the sound not being crystal clear. Now it should be crystal clear 2.5 years later. We've upgraded the sound system. Isaac Gartenberg, how are you, sir? What's up, dude? Let's get to the episode. So you're coming from the East Village.
East Village.
Second half of the Village Idiot Comedy Show. We had Andrew Ginsberg on a few episodes ago, but what you been up to, man? How's it going? How's comedy? How's life?
Oh, it's good. I'm just, it's warm today, man. I can't think about anything else. It is so
warm
hot.
Might be an understatement.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's crazy how, like, what was yesterday? What was the temperature yesterday?
Yesterday was like 90 also.
90? I was out in Long Island, so I didn't know, but, like, it'll go back to 60 probably throughout the rest of this week, right?
So, I don't, it's too early for this, I think.
Where are you from initially? In New Jersey?
Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey. On the shore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's got to be kind of interesting, right? Because you just see like a whole different group of people throughout the year, right? Was it like quiet during the winter and then bumping during the summer?
Yeah, winter's very quiet, pretty empty, and then summer's just it gets crazy there.
So what does it kind of look like, though? Like you just have your high school kind of stuff that you do, whatever, going to the mall, going to your friends' houses, and then what do the activities look like in the summer compared to the winter?
In the summer, it's all beach, pool, football, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's regular beach activities. Little spike ball.
Oh, no. Is that the thing with the...
the little like net on the ground. And
like trampoline?
Yeah.
Where was that game invented?
I don't know, but we got it when it came out.
You guys might have started it. So do a lot of your friends have pools at their house?
Yeah, a good amount. Probably 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
And how often do you get to use those pools, though?
I don't go home that often, but when I go home,
but when you do,
I'm going to a pool.
The thing is, like I have friends who've grown up in Chicago and stuff, and I never really understood why they would have pools, but like obviously being at the Jersey Shore, you can get like 3 months of use out of it. Yeah. But like being in Chicago, you really only get like 1 or maybe 6 weeks of using that pool, really. Or I guess September is fine, whatever.
September, that's a cold.
Yeah. So like in Chicago, I feel like 70s September going in the pool is like kind of mix as well. Yeah. So tell me a lot about what you're doing, man, or a lot, whatever you feel like doing. But you have started a Twitch channel.
This is like kind of the third iteration of the Twitch stream that we're doing. We started it initially probably a year and a half ago, something like that.
Live on Twitch,
and we were doing it at like super late, maybe like midnight, 1 in the morning, Saturday night. It's just like we wanted to do like a weird like late night call-in show, and it didn't really work out in that setup. I think we didn't have like a good kind of back and forth yet. We were still like, we knew each other, but we didn't have like the kind of comedy back and forth that we kind of developed a little bit more now. And then we were doing for the last few months Saturday night live stream. Just kind of building out the concept, like making sure like it was fun for us and like the people that were watching it liked it. And now for the last few weeks, we've been doing it Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Kind of like a better time slot, I think, to get people to watch versus Saturday night.
Right. In the past, did you have like a lot of drunk people calling in? Was that kind of the idea in your mindset doing that?
It's like all my drunk friends calling in or like at their pregame, they'd be watching it, stuff like that. It was fun, but I think the way on Tuesdays, I think we'll be able to probably reach more people.
So Tuesdays at 10 p.m., you guys sit down, in like one of your apartments, and you guys just go live on Twitch and just kind of talk, or is it like shooting the shit? What is the show kind of like?
Yeah, so it's like a call-in show. So like ideally, people would be calling in, just like some freaks or whatever, just calling in, being weird, and yeah, we just kind of like shoot the shit. Like we'll do like characters. It's kind of like improv-y stuff too, but I don't know, we'll just like end up like slip into a character, and then like I'll talk to the character, or Andrew will talk to me as a character, and then we'll talk to each other as ourselves. It's just silly and fun and a good time.
So when did you guys actually first meet, you and Andrew?
Andrew and I, we probably met in 2019, the beginning of 2019. We met doing improv at UCB.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that you also, or I did know that you did improv, and then apparently Andrew got you into doing stand-up. That's what he was saying. He takes credit for it.
He was one of the people.
So I took UCB classes for like 4 years, dude. I still have the Herald thing on my refrigerator, that sign right there, the first beat, second beat, third beat. So I had taken all 4 classes, and then I came back, and then like 6 months before the pandemic, I had taken 101, 201, 301, 401, and as I was like waiting to get a Lloyd audition. Like March 15th, 2020 happened. So like everything shut down. I was still doing this podcast, but like I had such a vision of just doing strictly improv. And I think that the pandemic kind of made me like switch my footing. I was like, well, improv, I mean, as you know, like UCB freaking shut down in New York City. So I was like, where can I go just to perform in general? You know, like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to either take classes, be performing at open mics, performing at shows, whatever. So like that kind of switched my mindset to be like, okay, now I think that, I mean, stand-up comedy is really, it's taking like a front row seat in terms of like performance. Like I feel, you correct me if I'm wrong, like the last 2.5 years, I mean, since the pandemic happened and then like, you know, comedy's come back, it's really come back at like a faster pace than I think before the pandemic.
Well, I really didn't do comedy before the pandemic, so I don't really know. I did like 10 open mics in like 2021, and then I really don't feel like I started until, or sorry, in 2020 I did like 10 mics. I feel like I didn't really start until 2020.
Talk about your progression from going from improv into stand-up comedy and then now having a show twice a week.
Yeah, so I mean, there are a few people, like Andrew was definitely one of the people that told me I should try stand-up. But the person I went to my first open mic with is actually one of my good friends, Matt. He's also our photographer for Village Idiot. And he was my roommate in college, and he used to always just write jokes. And I was like shocked. I'm like, how could you write a joke? Like, what does that even mean? Like, he would say something funny and then write it down. I'm like, oh, that's sick. And like, he never did stand-up in college, but we'd always talk about doing it. And then once we were in the city after he graduated, he had he kind of like pushed me to go do my first mic. So we went to that together, and he kind of didn't really love it as much as he thought he would. And I just kind of got hooked.
Interesting. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Binghamton.
Upstate New York.
Upstate.
SUNY Binghamton. So you went to high school. What high school on the shore did you go to?
I went to like a private Jewish high school.
So my grandparents had a house in Love Ladies. You familiar with Love Ladies?
No.
So like down, is there another name for it maybe? Love Ladies, Long Island. It was like the end of the shore where there's like
Long
a Dairy
Island's
Queen.
not the shore.
Barnegat Light. No. I mean Jersey Shore. My bad. Barnegat Light. Familiar
That's
with
like
Barnegat
super
Light?
far south, I think.
Yeah. I
a
think
little
that,
more north than that.
Okay, so like where exactly?
Long Branch.
Long Branch. I've heard of. Oh, there's like West Long Branch. It's a very Jewish area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So you went to a Jewish high school, and then you moved to the city right after high school?
After college.
Right after college. I'm slipping up a little bit here, bro. So what was like the main drive besides people kind of pulling you towards comedy? Like, was the corporate life just not for you?
Yeah, I mean, I still have a job. But I wouldn't say it's for me.
Right.
You know? Yeah, but I always, like, in high school, I did, like, plays and stuff. And, like, even when I was younger, I was doing plays.
The performing arts.
Yeah. And I remember in high school, I'd, like, improv during my, like, in the play, like, shown at, I'd just, like, do some, like, improv and, like, pulling, like, inside jokes and just kind of crushing with that stuff. And so I always thought after college, I'd kind of go back to that. And, so I just started with improv and then found my way to stand-up.
Where was the first place you lived in the city?
First place I lived in the city. I've been in the Lower East Side, East Village area since I moved here.
It's a great area, super
Yeah.
close to everything. And let's talk about how you guys first started the Village Idiot. What was the kind of thought process, and then how did you guys get the venue? Two venues.
Yeah, well, Andrew was, I'd say more his idea. Well, our original idea was just like, let's start an open mic, just like so we could practice hosting, meet more people kind of thing, like get more involved in the scene. And we just went around to a bunch of bars, just like, hey, we want to start an open mic. We could bring like 15 people here. It's like just coming out of the pandemic. Places are pretty, light on customers. Like, hey, we'll bring 15 people here. They'll all buy a drink. You guys will help everyone out. And we went into the juke bar, and they said, we're actually more of a show bar. We're not really an open mic kind of place. If you guys want to do a show, we could speak about that. And thank God they said that, because that kind of was everything for us. So we've just been, ever since then, we've just been running the show a little over a year. And they also own the Mayfly, so once they open that place up,
Okay. Same owner. So I did the Village Idiot comedy show about a week and a half now. Guys, one of the best bar shows in the city for sure, hands down. You go in there, it's just the vibe is so different and like electric. I love it. Like I can imagine being a customer there and just chilling in the crowd and watching somebody just try and do stand up, trying to like beat everybody on like the other side of the bar if the other side of the bar is like talking too much. It's just a great environment. And I feel like it was so different. Like when I was doing it, I just felt like, wow, this is so unique. Like when you're doing a comedy show and it's maybe at a comedy club, like everybody's poised in watching you, they're drinking, maybe they're eating, but like the focus is fully on you. And then at the juke bar, it kind of feels like well, I guess if you're standing on the stage, like the left side of the room is more so paying attention to you, and then the right side is like the bar side. So have you had like really great sets at that spot, and have you had a show where you've been like, wow, this crowd is super fucking drunk and annoying?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah, once in a while,
especially since it's once a week.
Yeah, it's weekly.
Well, at that
used
place.
to be every other weekend. Over the last few months, we started doing it weekly.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I mean, you'll have some good sets there. But honestly, when we're there, I think me and Andrew, what we try to do is not necessarily have the best sets, more try new stuff. It's like a great place. Like, if one of us bombs, like, no one cares, it's our show. So that way, when we do other shows, we'll be more ready. But yeah, we'll have good sets there, all the time. But there's been some times where that bar gets packed and it gets rowdy.
Yeah, I can imagine even like coming up during the summer, it's going to be like super hot with that body heat in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's
got some good
amazing.
AC in there, though.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Joe, by the way, Isaac, I have to ask you, are you free June 21st, 7 p.m. for the Ted Jones Comedy Show? I'm putting you on the spot, man.
What day of the week is that?
We have to check your calendars. Tuesday.
Sure.
Tuesday. We'll double check after this. But guys, check the link in this YouTube video for the next Ted Jones Comedy Show dates.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what day this is going to be released. Actually, yes, I do. It's going to be released Monday. Today is Monday. This Saturday at the People's Improv Theater, comedy night with Ted Jones, 9 p.m. We have a freaking slam and banging lineup. Check the link in this YouTube video. You can't make that. You come June 7th, or you see Isaac June 21st. Absolutely, man. So setting up a comedy show weekly, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure, of course, as you know. How do you guys kind of set up the lineup? I didn't ask Andrew this. Do you do like half you setting up like 3 comics and then Andrew picks 3 comics, or how does it work?
We agree on everybody for the most part. I mean, once in a while, I can't really think of a time where there's truly been like, I will like not book this comic, I will die. Like, that's never happened. We have pretty similar sense of humor, and we always hang out, So like we're pretty much usually in agreement.
Have any comics, gotten like disheveled, or I don't even know that's the right word, they're just like messed up by the crowd there, where they just start bombing, or maybe they'll get in a fight with like a drunk customer? Has that happened yet?
Dude, I guess I won't say names, but there's this one comic, and he's hysterical. He's so good, and he was crushing. But so you know how it's set up? It's kind of like 3 separate rooms. There's the main room, the room to the right, and then the bar area. Yeah,
the bar is like kind of in the back. You kind of look behind you on the stage a little bit, like look around the corner. Yeah.
So that part could get, especially there, could get super rowdy if the bartenders aren't like, hey, like, we got a show. Keep it down. Okay. So there was a guy there screaming, just being so drunk and loud, and one of the comics just like, hey man, like, just shut up, basically. But like, this guy came up in his face during his set, screaming at him. Like, we were like all in the back room, ready to jump out and just like break this up. But like, I don't know.
Was this pre Will Smith, Chris Rock situation?
This was pre.
Oh man, is it a few months ago, or
a few months ago? Yeah.
Damn. Okay, interesting.
It got close to being something, but like, luckily, like, the guy ended up getting kicked out, but it could get crazy.
Well, also though, like, you guys do it at a time when I feel like people shouldn't be that belligerently wasted, right? Like,
for sure.
8 p.m. on a Monday, like maybe you're happy hour, you're like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, you're 4 drinks deep. You shouldn't be belligerent, maybe, but
it's a Wednesday
I don't know.
night, like,
right. Yeah,
like
literally.
You
guys also do it Monday at Mayfly, right?
Yeah, it's 10 p.m.
Okay, so what does that vibe kind of look like compared to the two, considering like both of the bars? Okay, a little bit quieter.
Yeah, well, a lot quieter. That room is set up more like there's like a small stage, and it's just like one room, so it's more manageable. And it's a Monday night. Like, they're just chilling. They're not like pounding drinks. And that bar in general, I think, is less of a drinking bar than juke bar is.
So what has been your favorite part about throwing the show? Has it been like a year now, you think?
It's been a little over a year. We started March, probably 24th, around then.
Of 2021?
2021, yeah. Okay. I remember I was supposed to go to Florida for Passover, and I pushed my flight back one day.
Let's go. So Shalom Aleichem. Okay, exactly. Nice.
Yeah.
So what's been the best part about setting up that show? Do you think like just getting reps in and being able to host and just getting a whole different variety of comics and networking and whatever?
Yeah, getting the reps in is great, but really just like meeting a lot of people it's been so good for that. Yeah, but the reps, I guess, has got to be the best part.
So how comfortable are you on stage in terms of like length? Like, if somebody was like, all right, Isaac, go up there, do as long as you can. How much time do you think you'd be comfortable going up there and not like, having the crowd be like, all right, when is this guy getting off?
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the day, right? Sometimes we'll do a 5-minute set and it's like, oh, 2 minutes in, like this is not going how I thought it would, you know. But it just depends on the day, the crowd, how I'm feeling, I guess. But
What do you think you're at? Like 20 minutes, 25 minutes,
yeah, I could
15,
probably
something
do
like that?
Yeah, you know. I'm not gonna say a number because if you're booking me for 25,
Let's
minutes, I'm gonna
go!
do it.
Exactly. Amazing. No one's ever said that. Everybody in here comes just with a straight
No,
number.
I'm gonna do however much time you tell me to do.
That's
and,
what I'm talking about, bro.
It
So,
either goes well or it doesn't, but I'm doing it.
are you trying to set up shows on like the shore? Are there a lot of shows down there? Like, do you have a home comedy club kind of when you go back home or not really?
I don't really know the scene too well there. I've like when I've gone home for weekends, like it's really hard to even find like an open mic to do. We've been talking about maybe doing some kind of pop-up show, like one-off this
Love
summer
that.
there, but we haven't really put much thought into it yet.
Well, I mean, they probably have massive bars down there too. That
Yeah,
could be like,
especially,
great
Asbury
options
Park,
like that.
you know,
Okay,
that
okay,
area.
yeah,
There's, like,
that's a pretty Jewish area as well too, right?
Asbury not as
No?
much, no,
Okay.
but it's like a big music town, not really a comedy town.
Oh, right, the
It's
Bruce
like
Springsteen.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right. So I'm
That's
sure
like
that I'm sure they have some like big venues for that too.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like if you live in Jersey Shore, like people want to go to the city for comedy, and then like if they go to the Jersey Shore, they're thinking like beach town, drinking during the day,
Yeah.
maybe concerts, whatever it is.
Yeah, they do like the comedy shows there. It's like Count Basie and Red Bank, which is like a theater, like headliner stuff. But there's not really any like. There's a few shows I know about in Red Bank, but I don't really know the producers or anything like that. But yeah, it's really more of a music town than a comedy town.
So East Village, you find yourself being pretty centered, like close to most spots down there. I'm always jealous of people who live in the East Village. It just feels like you can walk to so many different places in one night.
Yeah, I just when I graduated college, I lived with like one of my best friends, and we just wanted to be there to party. And now it's good for comedy, I'd say.
Now it's a good mix.
Yeah.
Right, man. So besides, I guess the 2 shows that you're doing throughout the week, what do you look to, and I guess your Twitch stream as well, are you kind of bouncing around to other shows? You doing a lot of open mics? What is your like comedy trajectory right now?
Yeah, so yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we got shows and stream, and then but we're also doing mics before the show, before the stream, before everything, and yeah, mics every day. We hit a couple mics yesterday. I'm gonna hit a mic today after this.
I love that, dude.
You know, whenever there's a show, I'm gonna do it. You know, but I'm still pretty new. Like I really feel like I didn't start doing comedy until February 2021. That's when I really started grinding and like committing all my time to it.
So what was like the first time where you were like, all right, I want to kind of do this full time, you know, outside of doing your day job right now, but just doing it full time and trying to pursue it as much as possible?
It was around then. Like I was doing like I said, I did like 10, 15 mics prior to February 2021, and then like that month I'm like, this is the only thing. I just have to do this, and I just started going to mics every day. Like I remember the first one I really did was like an outdoor Joey Bats mic after a show. No one was listening to me. No one cared. But like I got like 2 laughs. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I'm gonna keep going. Like, why not?
So I think the first time I saw you was at Prohibition Comedy.
Yeah.
When was this? Probably March, something like that.
A few months back.
So what is one of your favorite open mics then?
Favorite mics?
Yeah, favorite open mics. For somebody listening who wants to get maybe get their feet wet in comedy, they don't want high stress situation like a juke bar. What's a good mic that people should go to?
I don't know. I mean, they're all pretty similar, you know. The good ones are like the ones that like bring an audience. Like I did one Monday night that like there's just like an audience there. Tonight the one I'm doing should have an audience. So just like go on the Facebook page and find it.
Totally.
Just, like,
Yeah, like New York comedy shows. I started doing open mics, I'd say probably like 4 years ago before I even really got the bug. Like I would follow around one of my buddies. I'm not sure if you know him, Giulio Gallerati. So he's been in the comedy game for a very long time. He actually has a Netflix special coming out with Pete Davidson and Best Friends. I think it's like June 13th. He did like 15 minutes. So I had been following him around in the comedy game for so long. And then I finally built up enough courage to just do my first open mic. Yeah. And it was fucking terrifying at first. So if any of you guys have not done comedy and you want to do an open mic, yes, you're going to get cold feet many a times. It might take you by the 3rd one before you finally actually do it. But once you do it, it's great. And you realize that nobody fucking gives a shit who's at the open mic in general. They're worried about the same things that you're worried about, right? Do you find yourself listening a lot during your set, or you kind of have your set and then you're like, okay, let's do my 10 minutes like this in particularly? Or are you like switching after 5 minutes? You're like, okay, this particular 5 minutes didn't work. Let's kind of go this direction with this 5 minutes.
At a mic or a show?
Yeah, at a show. Just because like you host something once a week, and I think it's unique just because a lot of people don't have a show. I mean, twice a week where you're hosting consistently.
Yeah. I think
Like you
Yeah,
just
I mean,
shoot
you
the
have to
shit.
listen to what the audience is saying. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep bombing. I mean, I did a show last week, 2 weekends ago, and I mean, the person before me just absolutely murdered, just destroyed. And then I went up and I was doing like my little jokes, and like no one cared. So like I was just bombing for 5 minutes, and then the second 5 minutes just I had to pivot. I did crowd work, and then the rest of it went well. But like if you're not listening to what the crowd's doing, you're just gonna bomb.
Totally, I hear you. So it is good to take off those noise canceling headphones sometimes, even though if you guys are up there and you're just like, all right, I want to stick completely with these jokes, you got to read the room. You know, like when you're at an open mic, maybe you're not listening to the crowd or whatever, but I think like you were saying, at a show, it really makes a difference just to listen.
I think at a mic, you have to do it more for yourself. I think it doesn't really, because the crowd, they don't care at a mic for the most part. It's just a bunch of comics sitting there that want to go do their thing and leave.
Yeah, totally. So what's been your favorite comedy club in New York City, if you have one
Favorite
at this
club?
moment? Yeah.
I mean, I don't really get up at clubs. I do bar shows more, but I've done a few spots at clubs here or there. But like my
New York
favorite
Comedy
one-
Club, I saw you at like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah. But my favorite one, like as an audience member, is the Stand. I used to go there every Monday night to Frantic before I did stand-up.
Love
It was
that.
just my favorite place in the world.
You ever go to the old stand on 19th Street?
I went there when I was in college a few times.
Yeah, man, that was when I like first fell in love, I think, with comedy. Just like seeing all the people who I'm seeing today, just like at the Stand, kind of the same people who have been in the mix for 6 to 8 years, whatever. But yeah, the Stand Comedy Club has been great. And guys, also, I forgot to mention, but if you guys listened to the last episode, July 3rd, we have the 3rd annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest at the Stand. It's going to be freaking lit. I cannot wait. We're doing the first 40 minutes of the show is going to be the vegan hot dog eating contest. 10 minutes, all you can eat. We're looking for 6 to 8 contestants. And then after that, the first 40 minutes, we will have a comedy show. So we'll have a hand-selected few comics just do comedy and hopefully, you know, have a bit of a summary of the vegan hot dog eating contest. But that'll be very exciting. I'm excited.
Is it going to be the same people that eat the hot dogs?
Do comedy? No. We're having 6 to 8 people. Anybody who wants to join in the vegan hot dog eating contest, yourself could even be included. But just send in your applications to tedjonesworld@gmail.com or tedjonesworld on Instagram. And hopefully we'll get you in the contest, all right? We're looking for a sponsor, guys. July 3rd at the Stand and 2 or 3 p.m. We'll figure that out
That is the
shortly.
craziest comedy event I've ever heard
Let's
of.
go. Thank you, man. We've done it twice before, and this will be the first time we're doing it in person, selling tickets. I'm
Nice.
super excited. For charity, it'll be dope, man.
awesome.
Really looking forward to it. So probably, well, I think they do the regular. They do the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on July 4th.
Yeah.
So it'll be a nice prelude to that. And then hopefully it'll get bigger than the regular hot dog eating contest. I think it's a funny concept and everything. All the ticket sales will be given to charity, you know, post figuring everything out. But that'll be exciting. So yeah, man,
Yeah,
just
cool.
doing silly stuff like that. And then I think that also, you know, could be good for like a Twitch streaming type of thing. So what do you guys see different in posting your content to YouTube and then posting it to Twitch?
So we're doing the
Besides the
live
very obvious live stream, yes.
Yeah, but we're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch now. At first it was only Twitch. Now we're streaming on both. Yeah, I think it's just... I think we'd prefer if we just did it all on Twitch, but I think if you include YouTube, you have like obviously a wider audience. More people are like comfortable with YouTube, I guess. But yeah, I don't even think we're posting the full videos on Twitch. I think we're only posting the full ones on YouTube. But I could be wrong about that.
How
We just started
long?
using a new system.
How long is the show? An hour?
Now it's an hour. We were doing it an hour and a half initially.
Do you guys ever think about live streaming your show?
I don't know if that would work just because...
Comics and they're burning their material and
Yeah,
stuff.
that. And then also for stand-up, you so have to be in the room for it. Like, it's such a different feeling online than in person. Like, even like watching a Netflix special is just like kind of whatever.
It's so different nowadays, you know? It's just like you see a comic, maybe like if you see a comic one time and then you see them again a month later, you want like a completely new set. You know, like I find that like some audience members are like, well, you said those jokes last time. And it's kind of different for me just because like every time I go out on the Ted Jones Comedy Show, I feel like I need to crush. So like I try my best to sprinkle in as much new stuff as possible. But sometimes it's hard. And then if I were to be like on a Twitch stream on like The Village Idiot, and then somebody came to see me like 2 days later after they watched me on the Twitch stream, they'd be like, dude, like your set was like 80%. You know, the same. So yeah, comedy, it's a little bit different. And then, you know, like everybody is for the most part in comedy trying to build up to that special. So it's kind of like, it's a different time in comedy than it was a few years ago.
But I never felt like that because I used to go every single Monday to watch frantic at the stand, and I see the same comics doing like similar sets, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And like, cause
interesting.
Like they're adding new tags. They're doing, it's not exactly the same, even if it is
Right.
the
Right.
same.
Yeah.
And I just loved it, like to see kind of all the material develop over like.
Interesting. You're a good crowd member then, in terms of like watching, comedy shows back in the day.
Yeah, I loved it. It was the best.
Nice, man. Yeah. So what else is on tap for you for the next upcoming months this summer in the Eastville?
Man, this summer,
you're gonna be spending some time at the shore, also on the beach.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't want to miss weekends.
Let's go. I love that. I feel the exact same way, dude. I was in Long Island this weekend. I had a wedding Friday night, Saturday night, got wasted Friday night, didn't drink last night just so like I'd be more prepared for this podcast, and then also driving home from Long Island. But like, I feel you, man. Missing weekends in the city is tough. As nice as the beach is and whatever, but like being in the city, like Friday, Saturday night shows, there's something freaking glorious about those nights, man.
Yeah, I work 9 to 5, so like weekdays I can only get like 1 or 2 mics, and the weekends like I have all day. I could do everything. There's so much more comedy on the weekends.
So just looking forward to the weekends and comedy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go home. Like I'm going home for Memorial Day next weekend. I'll go spend some time there, take a few days off. But yeah, I mean, I got like family stuff also that I got to go home for, like weddings, bar mitzvahs, all that good stuff. So like those are kind of built into the summer. So like I have like set weekends that I'll be home, but I'll be in the city as much as I can.
Totally.
Which I do every summer anyway.
Any of your friends from growing up do comedy, or you kind of venture to the city alone in doing comedy?
Any of my friends from growing up?
Yeah, like growing up.
No one that I grew up with. Actually, that's not true. There's a couple, 1 or 2 comics in the city that I grew up with. And then there's like actually some kids I went to college with also that are doing stand-up, things like that. But no one that's like my closest friends that do it. Everyone in comedy, they're like my tightest friends I met doing comedy. Did
you have any other places in mind that you wanted to go to college for? Like maybe places out in California or go down to Miami, stuff like that?
Nah, I applied to like Binghamton, Rutgers, like just like a bunch of state schools. And then me and like a bunch of my friends, we went up to Binghamton for a weekend senior year, and it was just the craziest weekend of our lives.
So wait, you all went there just to visit to see if you wanted to potentially go to Binghamton?
Oh, yeah.
Love
and
that.
we came back, we're all, yeah, we're
And you all went?
Oh, yeah.
It's
and all our friends
hilarious.
like, what happened that weekend? We're like, I was just really...
It was great. The professors were amazing.
Yeah.
So I went to a state school too. I went to UConn, but like,
oh, nice.
Binghamton had a pretty solid tennis team, and I would have thought about looking at Rutgers if they had a men's tennis team.
Right.
I was looking at like Syracuse, Rutgers. I mean, well, Syracuse being a private school, but just all those kind of schools. Maryland. I wanted to go to Miami.
Yeah.
I still spend like a ton of time in Miami. I love Miami. You ever been down there?
Yeah, I don't go too often, but last Passover we went.
I look forward to hopefully them having more of a comedy scene in the future. We'll see.
A pretty good scene there.
Yeah, well, they have like bar shows and stuff, but they're few and far between, and they're far away from each other. It's like it's like LA-ish in that like maybe you'll have a show in North Hollywood and then you have 40 minutes to get to Venice, which is like not happening. Right. In New York, as you know, being in the East Village, you can pop over here, and do 4 sets in one night. Yeah. Basically, in every other city, it just seems like that's nearly impossible.
I mean, New York's just so much smaller.
Yeah.
Great.
It is. It's like crazy when you think about comparing New York City comedy to any other city in comedy, just because of like the proximity to other comedy clubs. I think that we really have an advantage of that.
But we were just in Chicago a couple months ago.
Andrew was telling me about that. Yeah, tell me.
They have this place there. I don't know if you've been, but the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
I've heard of it. I haven't been to Chicago.
It's sick. They got like 3 rooms there. It's a comedy club, and you could just like bounce around all night doing like shows, mics, stuff like that. Just
shows continuously going on. Like you can do one set at 7 p.m. and then one at 9 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Like I said, we were only there for a few days, and we just like hung around there. We did a couple mics, but there were people that were like bouncing around doing a bunch of shows.
Do you guys find that you could potentially do like a bar city pop-up tour for like 2 months where you just hit like a different city every other day and just Village Idiot and you find the local comics? I mean, it would definitely be pretty difficult to find local comics in every single city, but do you guys kind of have an idea of doing something like that?
That's a good idea. I never really thought of doing it like long term, but that's like, I guess we did that on a small scale in Chicago.
Right.
That's a good idea. I bet we could do that. It would just be like, how does that work with our day jobs?
Right.
But yeah, it's a good idea. Something to think about.
So comedy Friday and Saturday coming up this summer. Anything else in particular you're looking forward to?
This summer?
Yeah.
Man, honestly, just grinding. There's nothing else. That's all there is working, I guess. I don't know. Beach, that'll be nice a couple times, like I said, but I don't know. I'm like in between moving apartments right now, so I'm so not thinking
Oh,
about
wow.
anything else.
Do you have to move out because your rent went through the roof?
Well, I have like roommates now, and I wanted to live alone.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
I'm like, God, I don't want to spend this much money to live alone. It's not even worth it. So I'm like moving into my mom's place for the summer. Figure out after that, but yeah.
Had you signed your lease initially with your roommates during, you got like a good COVID deal, or have you been in there for a long time?
No, we've been in this place for a year, so we got like an okay deal.
An
Like
okay
right
deal.
when everything was starting to spike
Yeah,
again.
now it's nuts,
Yeah,
bro.
now it's crazy. So I'm just like, I'm not paying for this. I don't like it that much.
I hear you, man. And also, it's good to reset sometimes.
Yeah,
it really is good to reset sometimes.
No, I agree. So
I feel
that's
you,
all
man.
I've been thinking about. Like I was supposed to move a bunch of stuff over today, but it was just too hot. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till tonight. Maybe.
You hiring a moving company?
No, I'm doing it all by hand.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. You getting some bros to help you out, or what?
No, most of my stuff I sent back to Jersey with my dad last weekend, just like books and whatever. And like I really am just kind of moving my clothes over there.
What are you doing with your mattress? Is that one of the
getting rid of it?
Oh yeah.
I don't want this mattress anymore.
All right. Also, like it sounds like more of a pain in the neck. Also, to bring a mattress to a new apartment, might as well just get a new mattress at that point.
Yeah, well, my mom has a second bedroom. She has a mattress.
Oh, okay. There you go. What kind of stuff did you have in your apartment though that you have to move? Just clothes?
Clothes and I don't know what else. There's so much stuff in there. I feel like I don't need any of it.
Totally, man. Totally. And like the only time you'll really recognize that is when you're moving and you're like, oh, I don't fucking need that shit. I don't need that. Like I just have drawer fulls of just whatever. I don't even know. But I can imagine like once I leave this studio / apartment, I'm just like, okay, I don't need that. Don't need that. Yeah. I mean, a ton of clutter.
A lot of stuff.
And especially living in New York City, you don't really know how much clutter you have until like you're leaving.
Yeah. I sold my TV. That was good. And everything else, I'm just like,
How'd you sell it? Facebook Marketplace?
Facebook Marketplace.
I didn't really even know that works so well, but it's better than Craigslist? I mean, it's more
I've never
reliable.
used Craigslist, but I tried to sell like some furniture. No one's biting on it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. But the TV sold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, people are buying used TVs, I guess so. Is it a big TV?
It was like 50 inches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I
was
guess.
kind of surprised someone bought it. It was like 28.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I could have gotten a new one for like $50 more than they bought this
Right,
one for
right.
me, but
TVs, man, they've just been. I remember they came out and they were They were what, 2 feet wide? You had to put it on the stand in the middle of your room. Now, flat screen TVs you can find for like $200.
Yeah.
I feel like this TV also is not that expensive. This is a Life's Good, or that's LG, probably like 35 inches. This is like $200. Yeah, TV's not so expensive these days. All this audio equipment way more expensive.
Oh, for sure. But they bought it for me, so that's all that really matters.
There you go, dude. Speaking of TV, you watching any good TV shows recently or what?
TV, dude, I have not been watching TV lately. I'll just like go on a YouTube video. in the
YouTube,
background
man,
and not pay
totally.
attention.
I'm a big YouTube guy.
Yeah.
Find that our generation and younger people are switching over to YouTube just because it's free. You know, you got your Netflix shows, you watch 8 episodes and then it's done. YouTube is just unlimited.
Yeah.
And then the algorithm kind of finds you in the way where they're like, oh, you might like this 10-minute video also.
Yeah.
And then you just find yourself clicking. It's like Instagram and TikTok too.
Thing. But I don't know. I watch like Shark Tank once in a
Love
while.
a good
Throw
Shark
that on,
Tank
you know?
episode, yes.
Yeah.
Love
But I don't
it.
know. I feel like lately I haven't really been watching. Like I'll watch half of a movie and just be like bored with it.
Or just on my phone the entire time.
Exactly.
So I mean,
Yeah.
that's always been like, even through school, I was always like a visual guy. I always got fired up when they like rolled in the TV, you know.
That was your
That
thing.
was always fresh. So Isaac, before we get out of here, man, thank you so much for coming over in the 95-degree day heat. Seriously, I don't even know how you made it outside, but we got a beautiful AC here. What do you got to tell the people, man, before we see you on June 21st, 7 p.m. at the stand?
Well, first of all, we'll see you June 21st, 7 p.m. at the stand.
Love
That's
that.
One thing right
Love
now.
that. Shout out your Instagram and whatever, please.
Yeah, Instagram is at IsaacG53. That was my number when I played backup goalie for floor hockey in high school.
And you kept 53?
Very sentimental number.
Love it.
I actually want to get just Isaac G, but it's some guy that hasn't used his Instagram since 2016.
You try and buy it off that guy?
Yeah, but I can't get in contact with him.
Also, I was like, it's his birthday May 3rd. It's like, happy early birthday, right?
5-3.
Something like that.
No, that was just, I wanted number 22 in high school, but someone else had it. So I got 23, and they messed up the printing, and I got 53. So that's, I didn't even want this number.
Dude, quite the journey to
Yeah.
53.
But that's what I got. Mondays, 10 p.m. at the Mayfly in the Lower East Side. Wednesdays, let's call it 7:30. Get there a little early at Juke Bar, Village Idiot. Twitch 10 p.m. Tuesdays. I don't know. But all this is on Instagram all the time because I'm a slave to social media.
Amazing. But seriously, that show on Wednesday night is one of the best bar shows in the city, hands down. No cappuccino, no cap. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys go there. You make reservations online, correct?
Yeah, on Eventbrite. We got the link in the bio.
And it's free. Besides you buying a drink at the bar and having a good time with your friends with free
no
laughs.
Minimum, so if you want to just come watch.
Beautiful. Isaac, thank you so much.
Thanks for
you
having
guys, thanks for joining the Ted Jones World Podcast. Check the link in this YouTube video, and we'll see you at a Ted Jones Comedy Show. Peace.
Hell yeah.